Hi, in this lesson we're going to be talking about the Windows Security Center that comes built into Windows. So we're going to be looking at this on Windows 11. So this Windows Security Center might be something you've never even looked at, or you might not even know it's there. So you probably heard of Windows Defender, which is the name of the antivirus app that Microsoft was using with Windows, but they've actually expanded on that to include all kinds of other resources. And many people these days tend not to even use antivirus on their computer, and they'll just stick with this, or they actually, don't even think about it. But it's important to make sure that each one of your systems is configured. Okay, so to get to it, there's a couple different ways. If you go to the Windows settings, you could go to Privacy and Security, or you could just type in Security in the search box here and go to Windows Security. So the home screen has your security at a glance. So this will kind of give you an overall status of what's going on, with the green check marks meaning it's okay, and the yellow exclamation point triangles there meaning there's an issue that you need to check out. And then once you go through each section, you'll actually get to these same options here. So we're just going to kind of browse through this real quick and show you what's here. All right, so we have our virus and threat protection. It tells you there are no current threats, when the last scan was found, how long it lasted. You could actually run a scan here as well, and you could check your scan options. So if you want to do a quick scan, full scan, custom scan, and so on. And you could actually see the allowed threats. So if there is something that it's marking as a virus or a threat, but you know it's not, you could actually go here and allow it so it doesn't get blocked. And then you could view your protection history to see if it actually found anything in the past. All right, so then we have account protection. So it tells you you're signing in with Microsoft, and of course you could sign in with a local account in Windows as well. So this is a test account that I use here. So it tells you the Microsoft account email address, and you can view your settings and manage your sync settings with OneDrive. And it also tells you it's using Windows Hello, which is a PIN in this case, which you could also use, fingerprint and that type of thing if you don't want to use a PIN, assuming your computer supports it. And then we have dynamic lock. So how this works is, let's say you have a Bluetooth device in your pocket like your phone, and it's connected to your computer. So if you walk away and go out of range of the Bluetooth, it'll actually lock your screen for you in case you forget to do it. So that's something you can configure if you want to check that out. All right, then we have our firewall settings here. So this tells us that the firewall is on for all three types of network, and it shows us what type of network we're currently using, which is the public network. And then you could get to all your firewall settings from here as well. Okay, then we have app browser and control. Okay, so we have smart app control and reputation-based protection. So I have a couple PDFs here on both of those. So the smart app control, here's what it does here. Introduced in Windows 11 22H2. It aims to protect your device from potentially unsafe applications by blocking them from running. So here's how it works. So when you launch an application, Smart App Control steps in and checks its reputation to see if it's something that you should be running. So it uses a database of known applications to determine how trustworthy they are. So if it's trusted, lets it go without any restriction. If it's unknown, it will run a signature check. So this verifies that the application is digitally signed and has a trusted certificate. And if it's not signed, it will block it. Okay, then we have the reputation-based protection, which is right here. So it's turned off for this computer. So this helps shield your computer from potentially unwanted applications, PUA. You may have heard that term before. So they might not necessarily be malicious, but they could still cause problems, or even if something's unknown, it'll still categorize it as unknown, so therefore it'll block it just to be sure that things are safe. So this uses a database of information maintained by Microsoft about these various programs, websites, and publishers. Then it'll also run a risk assessment, which checks the program against this database. And then there are some potential actions it could take based on this assessment, such as warning you or blocking the installation. So here are the types of PUAs that are normally targeted. Bundled software. So if you ever notice, if you install the Adobe Acrobat Reader, it wants you to install that, I think it's Norton antivirus along with it. And if you don't uncheck the box, then it gets installed whether you like it or not. Then of course we have adware, browser hijackers, and potentially unnecessary utility software. I just wanted to give you some additional information on these features because they're not as common, or it might not be as obvious as to what they do. And you can see they're turned off, and this is by default. I have not made any changes on this computer. So This is probably because there's a really good chance it'll block something you don't want to be blocked, so they probably figure leave it unblocked rather than start blocking things that are safe and causing you problems. Then we go down here, we have isolated browsing, which is another feature of Microsoft Defender. So you could use it in Edge to isolate browsing environments to protect your device and data from malware. That's something you have to install though. And then you have the exploit protection, which is already configured for you, and you can go to the settings. So there's system settings and program settings, and you could fine tune this as needed. Okay, then we have device security. All right, then we have core isolation. It keeps your device safe by protecting the Windows kernel, and memory integrity is turned off by default on this. Okay, so I have a little document on core isolation, a set of features within Windows that utilizes virtualization technology to enhance the security of your system's core processes. It acts as an extra layer of protection against malware and other malicious code. So here's the components here: virtualization-based security, memory integrity, other potential features such as credential guard, and virtualization-based security on demand. Okay, then we have our security processor, the TPM, Trusted Platform Module, which is a requirement for Windows to install it. And data encryption, so you probably heard of BitLocker if you want to encrypt your drive in case your computer is lost or stolen, to keep people from recovering your data. All right, then we have device performance and health. So health report, no storage issues, no issues with apps and software, no issues with Windows time. And then they give you information about the Fresh Start, which will actually reinstall Windows and keep your personal files in some Windows settings, but it will remove all your apps. So it's kind of like a way to start over with Windows without losing your files, but you will have to reinstall your programs. But of course, you should always back up before doing that just in case something goes wrong. All right, then we have the family options. This is more for your home user if you want to set up screen time for your kids or track where your kids are going online, that type of thing. So you can check that out from the settings here. And then we have the protection history. So this will show you any issues that you had in the past here. So this wants to set up OneDrive for file recovery in case of a ransomware attack. I'm not a big fan of this because if you get ransomware on your computer and then they sync to OneDrive, they're going to be on your OneDrive account and you're going to lose all that as well. So you're going to have to catch the ransomware attack before it syncs with your OneDrive account. Okay, and then we have some settings down here if you want to change your security providers or notifications. All right, so like I said, there is quite a bit to the Windows Security Center, a lot more than there used to be. So this might be something you want to check out for yourself and learn more about in case you want to actually implement some of these things that are not enabled by default.